Welcome to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by LA's First Choice Auto Auction on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. It's your chance to hear directly from the head of Lion Football. Now, live from Topala Catering in downtown Hammond, here's Alan Waddell.
Saturday afternoon was certainly frustrating for Lion Nation as Incarnate Word came to Hammond and stole a 6-point victory from Southeastern on homecoming 2019. The story of this game was certainly turnovers, as the Lions committed 6 turnovers and still had a chance in the fourth quarter, but just couldn't get it done as we lost for the second consecutive week in heartbreaking fashion. After a 3-1 start, Southeastern is now sitting at 3-3 with a bye this week, and it's time to regroup and get ready for Houston Baptist in 2 weeks to try to climb back in the Southland Conference race. Good evening, Lion fans. I'm Alan Waddell, and I want to welcome you to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction, live from our home, Topala Catering, right here in Hammond. Thank you so much for joining us, wherever you may be tonight, whether on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network or watching on the Southeastern Sports Network through YouTube. We'll be with you until 8 o'clock, and over the next hour, we'll get Coach Scelfo to break down this past week game against UIW. Also, because of the bye week, we have a couple of guests for you. Women's basketball coach Ayla Gazzardo is here, and we'll hear from her. Also, defensive back coach Terrence Calais is also here. So we'll also take a look at the schedule with Coach Scelfo for the bye week and touch a little bit on Houston Baptist. But first, let's take a break. When we come back, I'll be joined by the head football coach of your Southeastern Lions, Frank Scelfo. Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo is presented, as always, by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction in Topala on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
What do you love most about being a student athlete at Southeastern?
So I chose teammates for life because on our golf team, nobody's from the same spot, but the friendships we've made, once we graduate, I know we'll always be friends, we'll always see each other, we'll always come back and visit.
All right, welcome back. Just getting started here on Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction in Topala, right here on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. I'm Alan Waddell. We want to thank you for joining us here tonight. At this time, we're going to welcome to the show the head football coach of your Southeastern Lions, Coach Frank Scelfo. Coach, thanks for being here this evening.
Thank you, Alan. Thanks, everybody here, too. Really appreciate y'all being here. I know it's raining out there and everything else. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you.
Coach, I think certainly you would agree that, this is your second year here at Southeastern, that this may be the most frustrating game you played on Saturday against Incarnate Word. UIW comes in here. You really outplay them in every category on the stat sheet, except we didn't protect the football. 6 turnovers. Have you ever been a part of a game like that? I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a 6-0 turnover game, and you still have a chance.
So. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think when you look back, you always, and sometimes it's turned as coach speak, but we talk about taking care of the football and getting the football. Well, we didn't get any turnovers. We turned it over 6 times, and we didn't get any. And when you do that, you can't have the expectation that your team's going to win. When you wake up at the end of the game, you continue to fight all the way till the end. But you can't, after the game, go, we shoulda, coulda, woulda. No, we turned it over 6 times. You don't walk around saying we could have won that thing. We could have at the end of the game, but we didn't do the things that we needed to do, which was take care of the football during the course of the game to win. And that's unfortunate because I thought our team played hard. And we talked about it earlier. I thought defensively we really played well. We had some spurts on offense, but we kept shooting ourselves in the foot. We turned it over 5 times offensively and then had the fumble kickoff return. So, it's when you look at it that way, the disappointment, you feel it. The players really felt it at the end of the game and afterwards in the locker room, and the coaching staff today, and spending time with them yesterday and today. And, it hits home. And I think an open date, this has fallen at the right time for us because of that, and also a chance to heal up a little bit. But 2 tough losses where we had an opportunity to win those games against 2 really quality opponents, and we didn't get it done.
Coach, UIW came into this game leading the conference, actually one of the top teams in the nation in creating turnovers. So even before that game, what do they do? I mean, are they doing anything that are creating these? I mean, because it's not just us. Now, they're not causing 6 every week, but they're causing turnovers every week.
Well, they were leading the conference in interceptions coming in. They had 9. And what they do from a coverage standpoint, they dropped 8, and they do a great job hawking the ball. And then when they get their hands on it, they pick it. We had a couple of chances, our guys on defense, and it just went through our hands. We didn't get them. We were there. We had a chance to make the play, and we just didn't make it. But their guys do a good job. When they get their hands on the ball, they catch it. And, they proved it again the other night. They're at the top of the country as far as interceptions are concerned. And now they've got 13 on a year in a 6-game schedule so far, 7 games, which is really a good number for them.
You look at UIW, they've won 9 out of their last 12 conference games dating back to last year. This group has just kind of figured out ways to win games. And, you look at the stat sheet, I thought, like you just mentioned earlier, defensively, I thought we played pretty well. I mean, they're really known for, Coach Morris, they want to spread it around and score points and throw the football around. But you held them to 316 total yards on 71 snaps, only 147 yards passing on right about 50% in the air. So defensively, I think, like you said earlier, coulda, shoulda, woulda. If you go into this game and say, hey, we're going to hold them to 20 offensive points, I think you really like your chances to win that football game.
Yeah, we did. And, and when I say our defense played well, I really felt like we put them in some bad situations offensively by turning the football over and giving them short fields. The kickoff return was one of them, the interceptions. So we kept putting our defense. They would play well, have a good series, and we'd put them right back out there. And what I really liked, and I told you I love this team, and I still do, that doesn't take away, is the way they approached. Our defense came over to the offense, says, don't worry about it, we got you. And they went back out there and competed their butts off. The goal line stand at the end was huge. And when they came off the field, they told the offense, hey, get it done, man, we're pulling for you. And they did. You could hear the encouragement on the sidelines, not frustration. It was encouragement. And that's the part that you hope when you're developing a culture within a program. That's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear somebody complaining about why we're not getting it done. They want to encourage others to go ahead and get it done, and we're pulling for you.
Coach, this has been a good offensive team this year for Southeastern. 81 snaps, 515 yards of offense. Threw for 337 on 33 of 46 passing, a good percentage. Rushed it 35 times for 178 yards. You were 8 of 16 on third down. You possessed the football longer than them. Man, you just look up and down this stat sheet. You're 2 of 2 in the red zone. You had 4 sacks defensively. They had none. They didn't get to us at all.
Just keep rubbing it in, Alan. It's feeling really good right now.
Not trying to do that, but
that's what 6 turnovers.
I guess it just goes down to 6 plays.
Just 6 turnovers, man. That's what it is. And when that happens, throw those other numbers out besides the score, because that's all that matters, the score. And then you go to the next thing, which is the turnovers. And those are indicative. I don't care what level of football you're at. Yeah, when you don't win a turnover battle, it's a good chance you're not going to win a game.
Frank, what about penalties in this game? You know, we've been pretty good penalty-wise.
We have been. You know, we were second in the conference in the fewest penalties going into this game, and we had 13 the other night, and I was really disappointed in some of them. We had 6 false starts on offense, and there's various reasons for that, but which dropped us down to 4th in the conference. You know, so we're a lot better than we were at this point last year, but it's not where I want to be. I want to take away. You know, if a guy gets a holding call, it's not that I'm okay with it. That's an aggressive call, and I feel better about that. But a false start or lining up offsides, things like that, those are the ones that I really struggle with because those are things we control. It's not the official making a bad call. It's not anything like that, but those are things that we can control, and I want to be able to do that. So I think it goes back. Sometimes it's fatigue. Sometimes it's focus. We're looking at some other stuff right now as a staff to say, let's see if we can change some things to help our guys out. And you always do that as a coach. If you just sit back and say, well, we won, so let's keep doing what we've been doing, or we lost, change everything, you probably didn't have the right plan going in anyway. We feel good about everything that we're doing, and we're progressing to where we want to get to. But at the same time, we still got to you got to constantly create stuff, get yourself where you researching and doing the things that you need to do to make sure your players have a chance to be successful.
Frank, you started out the year 3-1. Certainly the big win back in Week 1 against Jacksonville State. Played well at Ole Miss, and then started the conference 2-0. You have back-to-back heartbreakers here. You're sitting at 3-3 going into the break. I mean, still a long way to go this season.
Yeah.
A long way to go. I guess what's the message to your team right now? I mean, I'm sure there's a little disappointment after such a hot start going into the break 3-3.
Yeah, but look, this conference it's gonna happen. Lamar beating Sam Houston the other night in triple overtime or whatever. Northwestern taking Nichols down to the wire, ended up losing by 10. There's going to be some more games in this conference, and people are going to wake up on Sunday mornings and go, I can't believe this happened. There's opportunities for us. We need some help now. Some other guys got to win, but we finished the season off at Nichols. But we're not looking past that right now. We're looking at what we got this week to get better, correct the mistakes that we have. And by no means are we saying we got no chance at winning this thing, because that's not what we're doing. We still have a vision of winning this conference championship and getting into the playoffs, and that's what we want to do. But we also know we have to have a really good week of practice this week and get better at certain things that we got to work on, and then start implementing the HBU game plan and carry that over into next week.
Coach, I want to ask you, you've talked a lot this year about the culture of your football team, about how you really like this locker room, how they fight for each other, they cheer for each other. Is this the group that can rebound from this?
Absolutely. Well, you know what, and here's why I say that with such I'm excited about it, is that's what they've done every game.
Yeah.
You know, you just look at every game. I mean, we jumped out ahead against Jacksonville State, and they didn't sit back and just rest on whatever we were at that point in time. And then Ole Miss threw us some curveballs, and we fought all the way back in the fourth quarter with opportunities there. Lamar and Northwestern, both halftime scores were very close, and we really didn't play well, and we didn't blink. We came out and fought well, hard in the second half and won. McNeese down 24-3, and we didn't blink. We came all the way back and took the lead twice in the fourth quarter. And then the other night against Lamar, you know, with an opportunity to win with the ball at the end of the game twice. So that's why I feel like the character, the competitive character of a player comes out in tough situations. And we've had some tough situations each week, and our guys haven't blinked. And I love that about them. That's why I like them. That's why I think going forward, I feel really good about where we are and where we're going to go.
All right, let's take a break. We come back, we'll have more right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction, and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself. The rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
What opportunity has Southeastern provided you that you will forever be thankful for?
Southeastern's giving me the education I need for my future. Whether or not I go pro, I know I'm going to be successful.
The Southland Conference, 13 member institutions, over 4,200 student athletes, achieving success in the classroom while excelling in 19 NCAA Division I sports and making a difference through serving others and giving back to the community. Determination, hard work, commitment, excellence, and collaboration. Together, we are Southeastern!
You know, we keep getting that, I don't know, we back on yet?
Yeah, we're back on.
We keep getting that side shot of his GoPro. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back here to Topla Catering. I'm Alan Waddell. This is Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo. We do this each and every Monday night from 7 to 8 o'clock. We will have a show next week, even though we are in bye. We'll have a couple of more guests next week. And if you're just joining us today, we do have a few guests with us today. We're going to
special.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Ellie Gazzardo.
Awesome. Yep.
She's here. We're going to talk with her in about 10 minutes or so. And then Terrence Callaway's here, defensive back coach as well. And then we're going to also touch on Houston Baptist. And for our giveaway this week, we have a signed basketball by the women's basketball team. We're going to give this away.
That's
right
going to be special. I'm calling it now. It's going to be special.
All right.
I'm calling it now. What do you want to tell you?
Lions had a tough one this past Saturday. Dropped it 27-21 to the UIW Cardinals. And, Coach, I want to talk about a couple of key plays in this game, get you to comment on them. And first, I thought that it was a nice start to the game in the fact that it seems like every week Austin Mitchell has been able to get vertical on an opponent. Now, we haven't always hit it. We've left a couple of them out there on the season. But what is he doing just to be able to get behind the defense? I mean, it seems like every week he's behind the defense for a big play.
Yeah, you know, one thing he can run. Obviously
that helps.
He's fast, and he and Chasen just really have a good rapport. Those guys got things timed out. But I think the best thing is that Greg and the offensive staff, put these things together as to when we want to take the shots and when we have an opportunity, certain down and distances, field position, things like that. A lot of that stuff has to fall into play before you make that call. And, when as we go through the game plan and everything comes out and when we hit that situation, man, everybody's excited because the players know when it's going to come. And everybody gets excited about that. And when, like you said, we've had them. We hadn't hit them all, but we are hitting some of them, and that's a good thing.
Lions jump on top in this one, 7-0 on a 48-yard touchdown pass from Chasen Virgil to Austin Mitchell. And I thought maybe one of the biggest plays of the game. We're up 7-0, and we're driving inside their 35-yard line, and we fumbled the football. Devontae Williams, and that's back-to-back weeks for him that he fumbled the football. And I noticed that he didn't come back in the first half of that football game. Was that a message to your senior running back?
Well, I don't think it's a message. I think it's, when you have an opportunity to carry the ball, it's a privilege. It's not a right. And when you have privileges, you have responsibilities. And the responsibility is you holding and we talk about, you're holding everybody's money in your hands. So take care of it. Don't give it back to them. It's too hard to get the football and, be able to do things with it. We think we're really good offensively. We think we can be explosive. We believe in us scoring points. But for us to be able to do it, we got to be able to sustain drives and get the ball across the goal line, and we can't turn it over. And, unfortunately that did happen. But, he's back up. He's ready to go again. And, Devontae's a crucial part of who we are and what we're doing. And he's explosive, and he's a guy we get the ball to. I think, between him and Marcus, our running back position is our leading receiver right now. And we're going to get the ball to those guys in the open field. And he knows. Nobody felt worse than him in the stadium the other night. And, he knows he's got to take care of the football.
they sat back a lot. You mentioned earlier they dropped a lot of people into coverage, 7-8 most of the game. They did pressure us on the interception that was returned for a touchdown. Take us through that play a little bit.
Yeah, but they dropped 8 on that one, too. They dropped both ends out, brought the tackle into Mike Backer through the middle. We missed a protection, and one of the ends that dropped out is actually who, Chasen threw it to, and he ran it back for a touchdown. So the majority of the night they dropped 8 and just played a bend but don't break defense, which we said they would. They didn't do anything that we said, or didn't think about or prepare for. We just didn't execute as well as I thought we could have. And, I think it goes back to as coaches, and it starts with me. I got to do a better job preparing our team and making sure our team understands the emphasis of what those guys are trying to do to us each week. So I got to do a better job. And then that'll filter down through the staff, which in turn will filter down to our players, and for them to have a better understanding of what we're going against each week.
Jumping to the second half, it was 17-14. They get a long run. They get pushed out at the 3-yard line. It looks like, hey, they're going to go in and go up 2 scores. Take us through that goal line stand. That was a big play in the game. I thought if we would have came back and won, that was kind of the footnote.
Point,
yeah,
right.
Kind of a turning point. We held them to a 6-point lead right there.
Yeah, a guy made 2 good plays in that game, Herman Christoph, a freshman linebacker. He was in the game at that time, and he was able to make contact both times with one made the tackle, the other one, Ron Cherry held him up, and then he came in and made the play after that and pushed the pile back. But I really thought, like I told you, I thought our defense really played well the other night, and that was just another sign. Guys are going to run the football. They're going to get their yardage and things like that, but they didn't average 4 yards a carry. I think it's 3.6 yards a carry. So when you look at that over the course of time, when they have that many rushes for not as many yards as you think, then you know that you're doing some things right. And we had a couple of breakdowns that allowed the long run to take place, but I thought our guys, again, it goes back to the character of your team. When some adversity shows up, how do you handle it? And I thought we handled it well. I thought our guys raised up and then stopped them down there and kept them from getting into the end zone, forced the field goal.
Coach, I want you to take us through and I guess tell our listeners, I know that you were having some animated conversations down there about the snap count with the hands, and then where we got the big false start with Cole under center where they called the false start on our quarterback. I guess what's the explanation there, and what are they looking at? What was the explanation of why that was called on Cole at that point for a false start under center?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It was animated because one of them had a birthday, and I was wishing them happy birthday, and they were excited about it. Alan, I think when you look back, there's always football's an emotional game. Sports are emotional. You're competitive, it's going to be emotional. And, we don't always disagree with the calls, especially when they don't go our way. You don't disagree with them. But I think there's sometimes rules interpretations. You have to take a step back and really get clarification. And we're in a gray area right now. The NFL this year has abandoned the fake hand clap. If you do it and you don't snap the football, it's a 5-yard penalty. We were on the verge of doing that in college football because it has been a problem. And we were on the verge of doing that this year, but kind of got the legislation in a little bit late. And because of that, the officials now are trying to transition into making those calls. And they're struggling with it. So week to week, really, we're getting – it's kind of different. Answer. Yeah, so it's not consistent across the board. And, Cole's he probably was animated, a little too animated, but they didn't jump off sides on that. So really there shouldn't have been a penalty. It shouldn't have been an infraction. We did jump off sides when he was animated, so that should have been an infraction the other way, but we got called for it. But that didn't cost us. It was 6 turnovers. I mean, I'm gonna just keep going back to that because it really ticks me off that it happened. But we got to get to the point where we have a little more. It's black and white, not so much gray. We got to get rid of the gray area in some of those things, and I think with new legislation concerning that, we can do that. And I'm hoping that passes, that we eliminate that from the game and we move forward. So
that kind of just showed up about 5 or 6 years ago, and you're seeing it a lot across college football.
Yeah, and then what happened was basically the Cardinals and Kingsbury and Kyler Murray brought it into the NFL and tried to do it this year, and they shut it down immediately. Says that's not the game we play up here. We play a different game, and so they abandoned it. It's a 5-yard penalty. Nobody's doing it anymore. You don't even see the calls anymore, and you don't see it in the NFL anymore. So it's working for them, and I'm hoping that it comes back in our game and it works for us.
Back to the game. You're trailing 27-14, about 8 minutes left to go in the game. Your team doesn't shut it down. You go down there, you get a touchdown. You actually get 2 stops defensively and get the ball back 2 more times. So, I mean, I just kept being down there. I think everybody in the stadium just kind of felt like, hey, this hasn't been our night. We've made a lot of mistakes, but we're going to make a play here at the end.
We did too.
And it just didn't happen right.
I think if you notice the sidelines, there was so much energy with our guys on the sidelines. I know A.J. Hop and Joe Scelfo saw something in the run game, and Greg called it, and we got out the gate, and Coop was able to score from, whatever it was. Because they were overplaying the pass so much, and it gave us a chance to score. Our defense did such a great job. In fact, put them in negative yardage situations and gave us the ball back again with 2 minutes left, which should have been enough time for us to get down the field. It was enough time. We just didn't execute and get back down the field.
Coach, I got to ask you, Chasen, he turned the football over. He had 4 interceptions in this game.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about this before the show tonight. He has 8 interceptions on the year, but 7 were in 2 games.
Yeah.
So he's had a couple of road bumps there. What's the conversation with him? Is there any talks of Cole Kelly's playing time extending out there? What's the conversation right now in that offensive room?
Well, that's what's cool about this week is that we got a week of, we got some practices this week and Cole gets reps every week. Al. He's played a vital part in our offense the entire season. So it's not going to be somebody coming in new and our guys don't understand what's going on. Cole and Chasen compete every day. And Chase is the starter for us. But Cole's going to get an opportunity to show what he can do this week a little bit more. And the same thing going in HBU. Yeah. He'll play in the HBU game. How much he plays will be dictated by game plan. But Chasen also knows, and nobody feels worse than him. He has been a great leader for us this year.
No doubt.
He has helped change the locker room culture by his mannerisms, by the way he's leading verbally and on the field, at practice, during the summer workouts, all of those things. He has been that guy. And nobody feels worse than him because of what happened the other night. So it's for him to he understands what we're doing. He understands that if he can't get the job done, we got to go with somebody else. He'll be the first one to tell you to do that. But he's also a heck of a competitor, and he's saying, you do whatever you want to do. I know what I have to do, and I'm going to continue to do it. So he's going to get away from the turnovers. I expect him to play really well this stretch run, and we'll see where things take us.
That's Coach Frank Scelfo, head football coach of your Southeastern Lions. Let's take a break. We come back, we'll have more right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Tokla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Why do you support Southeastern Athletics?
So Southeastern is where our family started. We met my wife here, met all our friends here, and now it's given us 2 beautiful children, and now it's part of our family.
All right, welcome back. Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. We have a bye week this week for football, so we brought in a couple extra guests. Coach Scelfo said, I want to have Coach Ayla Gazzardo on there. I want to have her preview her team a little bit. So, Coach Gazzardo, thank you for stopping by and spending some time with us here this evening.
You are very welcome. I knew he was my favorite.
No doubt about it. All right, so what you've been practicing for a couple of weeks now. Give us some insight into the program. What are we going to look like here in 2019, 2020? This is year 3 for you? It's hard to believe it's already year 3.
I know. It should be better. No, year 3, but it's a good year. We look like a brand new team. We have 6 incoming players, 5 freshmen, 1 junior college transfer, and it is competitive. It's competitive every day. I couldn't tell you. I know Kimmler asked me, I feel like every week, who's going to start. I have no idea, and I like it because they're competing for spots. We're deep in every position, point guard position, post guards. We're deep in every position, and we're bringing a lot of local talent. You know, we've got a kid from Laranja, a kid from Ponchatoula, Baton Rouge, Salmon. We're all over the place, but we're making sure Louisiana's represented well.
Well, since you're a hometown girl, I'm sure that's a pretty good
I'm a little biased.
Yeah, I'm sure a little bit. Okay, so like I said, we're practicing for a couple of weeks now. We're going to have our, exhibition November the 4th? Is that the first? So give us kind of a little preview of that.
So we're going to start off with our exhibition. We actually scrimmage in 2 weeks. That's closed, but, we'll start off with our exhibition, and, we'll be full-fledged, ready to go on November 9th against Houston. Very excited about playing Houston. My schedule seems tough because I've got 2 SEC opponents. I've got Houston on there, Louisiana Tech, but all of them are competitive. We lost to Houston 2 years ago by 3, so we're excited to play them for the start of our season.
No doubt about that. We're talking with Coach Ayla Gazzardo, women's basketball coach here at Southeastern Louisiana University. It's hard to believe that it's already round ball season, going to be starting it up here in just a few weeks. But give us a little, maybe a preview of your team. Who are some people that we can, who are some players that we can look to hear from this year? Maybe some returners, some newcomers. And also, one thing I've noticed about your program is that you've improved from year to year.
Yeah.
And what's the goal here in year 3?
Year 3, preseason picks just came out. We were picked 10 in our conference. Obviously, that is not where we want to be. Is it better than the years prior? Yes. We're getting better every year. We're enjoying it. But it's a roller coaster ride. We're looking for consistency this year. We're looking for being constant in practice, games, everything is just constant consistency. But one thing that we're looking forward to is we have a Celica Sterling right now. It's transfer that we got in from BRCC, phenomenal shooter, go-to player. That's who we're looking to kind of lead our team. But we've also got our bigs coming in. We've got Caitlin Williams. We've got Ami Jibril, kid from Nigeria, coming off the bench. So we're looking for them to start stepping up a little more in our post game. Incoming freshmen, we've got a local out of Ponchatoula, Haley Geritano, kind of like a 4-2-3. She's a long guard, can play multiple positions. So we're looking for people like her, people like Alexis Horn coming in, playing our point guard position, a little bit of our 2 spot to make a difference. It's fun, it's competitive, like I told you, but it's upbeat. Our practices are fast. We're able to defend 94 feet now, something we couldn't do in the past. So we're looking to make a difference as far as pressing a little bit more, playing a little more up-tempo on the offensive and defensive end.
Talking with Coach Ayla Gazzardo, women's basketball coach here at Southeastern Louisiana University. You brought it up a couple of times that you have some local players. And I'll ask you this, you're from this area. I think the number one question I get in the community as far as women's basketball is, man, there's a lot of good women's basketball teams around here. You look at Livingston Parish, a lot of those great programs over there with Denham Springs and Walker and Holden and, some of those great programs. And then over here in Tangipahoa Parish, St. Thomas and Ponchatoula and Amite had great teams and Sumner's had great teams. And is there enough talent here to win a Southland Conference and get to the big dance?
And that's been a conversation on a lot of different people, but I truly believe you can win with Louisiana kids.
Yeah.
There's enough talent. I hate it because – I hate that I had to leave to go out and play. Right. I want the locals who want to be here, an hour, 2 hours. I couldn't consider them locals. I want them to stay here if they want to be here. I'm going to go out and I'm going to recruit that person at St. Thomas Hart. I'm going to Ponchatoula, Laranja, Amite, and we're going to recruit as hard as we can to those people because our main goal is we want to put people in the seats also. I want to give them an opportunity to play in front of their family. We're a big family staff. We're a big family community. we want to make sure to give them that opportunity.
All right, tell us about the tip-off bash coming up here on October 25th. Give us a preview of that.
So October 25th, we're doing a tip-off bash. We'll have a silent auction. We'll have a raffle. We'll have food, drinks, and basically it's a meet and greet of the team. It's at the mezzanine at 6 o'clock. We have tickets on sale at lionsports.net. And we also have tickets. If you want tickets, let us know. We'll come and deliver them. Make sure to kind of personalize them with you. But it's supporting our men's and our women's basketball team. We kind of replaced it as far as our luncheon that we used to do. So it's now a little dinner. It's more formal, and it's a really great time. We'll have speakers, senior speakers come and speak, and then we'll do a Lion for Life award that we did last year.
So that's coming up on October 25th. That is the men's and women's basketball tip-off bash. It's right there at the mezzanine, 6 o'clock on October 25th. Make sure you get tickets to that. Before I let you go, I know you have some of your coaches here. Introduce them before you get out of here.
I do. I have Coach Asia Ochi. She's over here with her little one. We couldn't find babysitters tonight. Sorry. And then I have Coach Chelsea Butler, who's always got a camera in her hand. So
she's filming you right now.
I know. So, but, this is huge for us to get out, and I'm thankful that Frank let us be on the show tonight. Anytime that we can publicize our program and let the community know what we're doing is awesome. And, all the support for him and his staff, because it is not easy being in his role. I got it, but he's got support from everybody.
Ayla Gazzardo, women's basketball coach here at Southeastern Louisiana University. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with us, and good luck this year. Women's basketball's tipping off. Also, I want to thank you for providing this.
Yeah.
We're going to give this away tonight. This is a signed basketball by the women's basketball team. We're going to give that away here at the end of our program. Let's take a break. We come back, we'll have more right on Inside Southeastern Football, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction, and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. Stay with us.
The Southland Conference, 13 member institutions, over 4,200 student athletes, achieving success in the classroom while excelling in 19 NCAA Division I sports and making a difference through serving others and giving back to the community. Determination, hard work, commitment, excellence, and collaboration. Together, we are Southeastern! All right, welcome back inside Topla Catering. I'm Alan Waddell. This is Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. And now we're going to be joined
by defensive back coach here at Southeastern Louisiana University for football, Mr. Terrence Calley. They call you Tank.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for spending some time with us this evening.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, give us a little talk, I guess, about your group. I thought that certainly played pretty well this past week against Incarnate Word. You held those guys, what did I say earlier, 147 yards through the air, so came up and tackled well in the run game as well. Talk about your group a little bit.
Right. So we had a little movement on the back end. We moved DeJohn to boundary safety, as well as Trey Spann to free safety. So those guys moved on, and I think DeJohn did a really good job. Could do a little bit better, but we'll get that fixed throughout the bye week. So, but for Lando, he's playing extremely well this year, and along with Xavier Lewis. So Xavier Lewis does a lot for us. He covers, he can blitz off the edge, and also he creates a few turnovers. So
talk about that decision to move DeJohn back to that safety position. He'd been playing predominantly corner for the last couple of years.
Right. So we're running thin in that position.
Yeah.
So he's one of the seniors that we think that can go back there and perform and do a good job. So we had Chantrez Spates. He came in and played the boundary corner. So he never missed a beat. So
yeah, we've been down a little bit in the safety position. Derek Turner wasn't available this week, and then we get the targeting call there in the second quarter. I'll say it, a little questionable call from my vantage point, but Trey Spann has to go out in the second quarter. So, again, kind of thin back there, but played pretty well against a team that can score points in bunches.
Right, exactly. So, throughout the whole week, man, Coach Guidry challenged us on the back end, and we did a really good job of making the checks and seeing everything we needed to see. So, we did this week, and I think we performed okay, so we got to get back to it and get better at the small things and the detailed things for the bye week so we can get going.
Talk about what it's like working with Coach Guidry. First year with Coach Lance Guidry, comes over here in D.C. at Southeastern this year.
For me, as a young coach, it's been a blessing, to have somebody with so much knowledge, a wealth of knowledge on the defensive side of the ball, and especially at the defensive backs position. So he's teaching me a lot of things, in my short career. So I'm looking forward to the other years to come. So I'm excited about it.
We're talking with Coach Terrence Calley, defensive back coach here for Southeastern. They call him Tank. I've never heard you called Terrence. How'd that nickname come about?
It goes back to whenever I was a young boy. My grandmother gave it to me, and Coach Scelfo recruited me in high school, and it just stuck. He called me Tank throughout the recruiting process, and it stuck in college.
So it's just stayed away. So you've known Coach Scelfo for a long time. I guess that's something I can lead you into and let you talk about your journey of how you got here to Southeastern.
Right. So jumped into coaching, and I was at a D2 school in West Texas, startup program. Then went to Morgan City High School. Went to the high school ranks, and just so happened using Twitter, got my first full-time gig over Twitter.
I want to thank Twitter.
Shout out to Twitter. Yeah. So, stayed in touch with Coach Scelfo throughout the time, asking questions and trying to learn different things and connecting the dots. So, he got an opportunity to be the head guy and gave me an opportunity to come here to be a part of what he's building. So I'm extremely blessed to have the opportunity. I can't tell him enough how thankful I am. But it's been a pleasure so far to see him in this position and doing the things that he's doing day in and day out.
What have you seen changed since you've been here?
A lot of things. Where do I start? We still have many other things to change. So I'm looking forward to the challenge on the field and off the field, getting this thing going in the right direction.
We're talking with Tank Calley here, defensive back coach for Southeastern. It's fitting that you come on this week. I know we have a bye. But after the bye, we're going to take on Houston Baptist, who wants to throw the football.
Right.
They're going to put it in the air.
Right.
They're going to throw the football a lot. We're going to get Coach Scelfo to touch on them in just a moment when we come back, after our next break. But, man, this is a team that 2 weeks ago they threw it 69 times.
Exactly.
So certainly you got to be prepared for that offense you're going to face in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir, no doubt about it. Man, it's been a point of emphasis that we go get the ball. So we're going to work extremely hard at it throughout the bye week, and also on our man-to-man skills and zone coverages. So we got to communicate across the back end, and that's going to be something that we get after it, on bye week. So.
When you have a little bit of a bye week like this, are you going to get out and do some recruiting? What's your area? Tell us about that.
All right, so we will get out and go recruiting. So I have Highway 90 from Vermilion Parish all the way through the Lafourche Parish. So there's 32 schools in my area, and I'll be.
So you go south to the end of the earth.
That's where I'm from. So we gotta make it happen. I gotta go get it.
That's right. We're talking with Coach Terrence Calais here for Southeastern Louisiana University's defensive back coach. Certainly his group did a nice job this past week. Held UIW to 14 of 27 through the air, 147 in the air passing. So it certainly helps, I'm sure, the defensive back group, especially when you're thin a little bit right now, because you're not playing a ton of guys back there whenever you're able to get off the field and obviously get some pass rush up there, which we've done a pretty good job of this year.
Right, exactly. And, I've been extremely proud of how those guys have been attacking the field. In the situations we were given, they have a no-flinch attitude. So they attack the field and go make it happen and, get shutouts and third down stops and things like that to make them punt the ball and stuff. So.
Well, Coach, thanks for stopping by and spending some time with us. We're going to get to our final break, and then Coach Scelfo will be back up here, but we appreciate you stopping by with us on this Monday night.
Yes, sir, I appreciate
All right,
you.
that's Tank Calais, defensive back coach here for Southeastern. We come back, Coach Scelfo will be back on the stage. We'll talk a little Houston Baptist, a little Southland Conference standings. We'll do our drawing, and we'll wrap it up right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
The Southland Conference, 13 member institutions, over 4,200 student-athletes, achieving success in the classroom while excelling in 19 NCAA Division I sports and making a difference through serving others and giving back to the community. Determination, hard work, commitment, excellence, and collaboration. Together, we are Southeastern!
What do you love most about being a student athlete at Southeastern?
So I chose teammates for life because on our golf team, nobody's from the same spot, but the friendships we've made, once we graduate, I know we'll always be friends, we'll always see each other, we'll always come back and visit.
All right, welcome back. Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. I want to thank Coach Ayla Gazzardo, Coach Terrence Calais coming in for us today, and Coach Scelfo's back here on the podium with us as well.
You know, Alan, with Ayla and her staff and everything else, when you go watch them, we get in there early in the morning during the season. Their girls are out there on the field, man, running, and I feel sorry for them, not the coaches. They just grind. They're in the weight room. They're working them. Tomorrow morning they got 5 a.m. practices. glad I don't play college basketball for them. But they're turning this thing around. I think that's what, and Jay talks about it all the time within our department. What makes a good job and a bad job is the people you work for and you work with. And we're just it's awesome to be able to work with people like this every day. You see them every day. They're so supportive, and we support each other, and it's just cool. It's good to see them, and I appreciate them being here tonight.
We're going to have Coach Kiefer here next week. So
yeah, how about that,
We're
man?
going to have Coach Kiefer here next week. So
He's
if you
awesome.
haven't had an opportunity to meet David.
Yeah, if you hadn't met him, you got to come in here and see him and meet him, spend some time with him. He's awesome, too. Everybody has such a positive outlook. I'm probably the Grinch or the grumpy guy or whatever, especially after this past week. But even, I'm a positive, I'm realistic, but I'm positive about a lot of things. And you see them, they just lift you up. So we had all staff meeting today, got a chance to see everybody in there, and everybody in the department's just got energy, and it feels good around there.
Coach, we just talked to Coach Callaway as well, Tank, and recruited him out of Patterson.
So, if you hadn't been to Patterson, you can't see the end of the earth.
They got good players down there.
They got some really good players. It's way down there. But it's not far from New Iberia either, so I'm kind of familiar with that. But recruited him out of high school, and probably would have never got him if he hadn't had a knee injury. I think he'd have gone to the SEC, but he had a knee surgery the year before, and we were able to kind of backdoor some people and get him up there. And I was at Louisiana Tech then, and he ended up going up there, having a great career, and we kept in touch over the years. He's a quality man, great wife and kids, played ball, has a passion for the game, and I couldn't wait to put him on the staff when I had a chance. And he wanted to get back closer to home, and he was able to do it.
Frank, you got a bye week coming up, so certainly you get an opportunity to kind of, I don't know if get back to basics is the right word. What's the schedule for this week?
Well, you always do that. It's going to be similar to what we had against Bethune-Cookman that week, when we got the game canceled. So we'll go back to some fundamental special teams things, making sure our guys stay sharp. We'll do a lot of good-on-good stuff, offense versus defense, things like that. We'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practices. Friday mornings we'll lift them early. They'll go at 6 and 7:45. They're 2 lift groups, and then we'll give them the weekend off because we would have been playing on Friday or Saturday. So they would have the weekend off, and we'll bring them back in Sunday afternoon, 5:30 team meeting, 6 o'clock dinner with the Casa kids, team dinner with the Casa kids, and then we'll start back over on Monday with the HBU game plan. But we'll start implementing some of the HBU stuff on Wednesday and Thursday on both sides of the ball. But it'll be a lot more fundamentals. Again, we'll take some of the younger guys. I mentioned Herman Kristoff earlier, Alex Huzar, Davion Nasri, Brakeem Wicks, Ed McGee, and Michael Corner, Kendall Collins. All of those guys, Jalen Ormwood, who played this past week, all of those guys will be we got to race to maturity with some of our young kids, and we want to get them ready. So this week will be a good week for them too.
Colton, can you pop up the Southern Conference standings just a moment? Lions are 3-3 right now. You're 2-2 in the conference, and this is a jumbled mess, Coach. We're going to take a look at these.
I hope it stays like this for a while.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Give a chance to get back in this thing, get going.
I think right now Nichols has only played 2 games. They're undefeated at this point.
Right, they're the only undefeated team.
But
left.
Everybody else has a loss.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot to go here. We got a long way to go.
And those guys got to play each other. A lot of these teams are going to be playing each other. And like I said, we do have a chance to play some guys in front of us.
So, you have a 3-0 team, you have 2 3-1 teams, a 2-1 team, a 2-2, and a 2-2. So, we're right there.
That's right.
Now, you got 5 big games left. Certainly, it's going to start with Houston Baptist. We're going to spend a lot of time on Houston Baptist next week.
Absolutely.
But just one thing about them that you can go ahead and get ready for is they're going to throw the football. They are going to.
Well, they lead the nation in passing.
And
so
they led it in scoring up until last week. I'm not sure if
they. They're throwing it. That's what they come out of there throwing it. 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. They're throwing the football. The quarterback does a really good job. We hadn't spent, like it's just Monday, so we really hadn't spent a lot of time on him yet. We'll start getting into them. We got into them today a little bit, and we'll really get into them tomorrow. But, they're going to throw the football. It'll be an aerial show, an afternoon game, I think. So we're looking forward to it. We're going to go over there and play them. And, again, it's a great opportunity to bounce back and do something on somebody else's field that you have to do if you want to be where you want to be at the end of the season.
2 weeks ago, Houston Baptist threw the football 69 times against Incarnate Word. So they're going to throw it. They're going to put it up. So that's not going to be a 2.5-hour football game. I'll just go ahead and say that right now. But we'll talk about that a little bit more next week on our program. Kimler, do you have our bag? Let's go ahead and do our giveaway. This week, again, we're going to give away a signed basketball by our Lady
We
Lion
got a clear
women's
bag
basketball
policy
team.
here at the show.
So go ahead and pull us a
Clear
name out of
bag
there, and we'll give
policy.
this
We gotta make
basketball away.
sure.
Somebody could
Courtesy
in somebody's
Andrew
office.
Bishak and the stadium crew over there.
Pull us one out of there, Coach.
Let's see who we got.
Who we got? Kelly Wells.
Hold on.
My man, Kelly Wells. So he's got it.
Well, there he is.
I'll shoot it to you. There you go. All right, there you go.
Nice.
So,
Congratulations, Kelly.
All
Thanks to
right.
Ayla and the staff again for bringing that and having it for us. And really appreciate that, man.
well, Coach, we just got a couple of minutes left to go on our show. I did have a question that came over to me here on Facebook that and I'm actually glad they asked it because I've been meaning to ask you this. And this is actually from Gary Sandifer, a good friend of the program.
Yep.
Said, Coach, or he said to me, ask Frank, are the boys on the sideline with towels, are they red shirts, recruits? Who are those guys? They stay fired up the whole game.
That's our juice squad, Alan. We talked about it before. We have the culture's changing, and we got so many guys that are really doing well. And so we travel 66 players every week. So that's how many guys dress out for us. But we've got some other guys that we feel like are really contributed during the course of the week in practice, doing good things from a positive attitude standpoint, practicing hard. They might be on a scout team. They might just be one snap away from being able to move up in the lineup. So those guys, we didn't want to leave them out, especially for home games. Now, they've got to reach certain criteria. They've got to do everything they're supposed to do during the course of the week on the field and in the classroom. If a guy misses study hall or skips a class or something like that, we're going to pull them out of there. But those are the guys that really bring some energy. Coach Hop runs them. It's our juice squad. They get everybody going. They say some of the dumbest things you've ever heard, but we hear them, so it's okay. I guess we can live with it. But that's what it is. That's our juice squad, and I think they do a good job. I don't know. Y'all see them from the stands a lot better than us. I thought they looked great in the hoodies this week. Those look good out there on the field. And those were courtesy of Nick Foles. Nick, the quarterback for Jacksonville Jaguars, bought the entire team a hoodie and some other stuff, and so we were able to break them out this week. But that's what the squad is. Yeah, I thought they did too.
Man, we didn't touch on that, but it was finally a little cool.
Yeah,
it wasn't 95 degrees.
It was below 95, so we were able to break them out. But so they've been on the sidelines all 3 home games, and I think they've done a good job.
Coach, we've got a couple of minutes left here before we say goodbye. And, again, we'll be here next week. And we'll really we're going to break down Houston Baptist. We're going to have some more guests for you next week. So make sure you come on out here to Topoli Catering. Coach, we have a fan base that certainly rallies behind your football team and is very invested in this as well with yourself, the coaching staff, the players. And I'm sure after Saturday – there's some fans that are as frustrated as y'all are,
sure.
Because they're invested in the program. I guess what's your message to them right now after a couple of tough losses as we go into this bye and get it ready for these Final 5?
Southeast has been around a long time. I'm not sure exactly what year the school started. If you're a supporter and a believer in this school, this university, and its football program, then you don't like the results that happen out there on the field, but you should never quit supporting this group. Those guys are working their butts off each and every day to try to do the things that we all want to do, which is win. At the end of the day, win. But I think what's happening is that we're going to start turning out some quality men to be able to come back and be a part of society. And if Southeastern is your passion and you love the Lions, don't stop supporting them for that. I don't care what sport it is. Come to women's basketball. Come see men's basketball, baseball, soccer. Support everything because that university is truly yours. So that's the message I always had for them. We're going to play hard. If you want to go to Baton Rouge, they got a great ball club there. Maybe they got a chance to win a national championship. Hope they do. But we got a great place here at Strawberry Stadium. Come watch us, support us, be a part of what we got going on, and then watch us grow. And then with everybody's help, we can grow it, and we can become that team on the national level like North Dakota State or James Madison or Jacksonville State.
There you have it. We're out of time. This has been Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo. Again, our Lions will be on a bye week this week. We return in 2 weeks against Houston Baptist. Make sure you're here with us next Monday night. We do this every Monday night from 7 to 8 o'clock. We will preview that game a lot. We're going to give you all the stats, get you everything you need to know about Houston Baptist. Also, Coach David Kiefer will be here. We're going to preview men's basketball, and we'll have more guests as well, more giveaways. So make sure you plan on coming out here to Topolak Catering. I want to thank Terrence Calais for being with us today, Stevenson back coach for Southeastern, also Ayla Gazzardo for spending some time with us, women's basketball coach for the Southeastern Lady Lions. For Coach Frank Scelfo, I'm Alan Waddell. We'll see you next time on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction in Topolak on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. Line up, everybody.
Line up.
Broadcasts are a product of Lion Sport Properties. For more information on how you can support future broadcasts, Lion Sport Properties is available at area code 985-549-2570.